Now you see that female in the back. Is that a female? The one all the way to the right with the PT
I guess
belt?
so.
Yeah. I would immediately tape and weigh that woman because she is fat.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is wrong with this picture if this is a PT test?
Where's the NCOs?
What is this lollygagging? What is this lollygagging? I want a neat, orderly line between each participant.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, I got you.
If you're going to do anything at all, you may stretch. Otherwise, you will be standing at the position of parade rest.
Yeah.
It's basic training. Holy ass balls. More than 7 months after the official launch of the Army Combat Fitness Test, or ACFT, which failed, by the way. They're going back to the old standard for PT tests.
Because there's too many women couldn't pass it.
Nearly half of female soldiers are still falling short, with enlisted women struggling the most. Military.com has learned.
What did I tell you?
The data again raises questions about whether armies attempt to create a fitter force is creating more barriers to success for women. Look, it's the military, okay? I routinely carried packs that were 110 pounds in one of the units that I was in. And then there's your 35 pounds of fucking battle rattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's whatever weapon you're assigned, up to and including the pig, which was 27 pounds, I think, right?
Here's the standard. The base amount you're going to carry. 45-pound rucksack with your field gear.
Ours was extreme because we had all the battery shit.
Well, this is basic without combo stuff. 45-pound rucksack, then you have 10 pounds of water. So you're at 55 pounds on your back. Your LBE is 15 to 20 pounds, depending upon if you have food, extra water, what have you, customize it to yourself. And you're going to have your helmet. And then you're going to have your weapon. So roughly you're walking around with about 75, 82, 85 pounds on your back. And that's before you have radios and extra ammo. And then somebody's going to carry the pig or it's stand-in. And shit gets heavy fast. There's a reason if you ever meet me in person, I grunt and groan and I sound like Jiffy Pop popcorn when I walk around because this body has been put through the ringer. All right. It's not the years, it's the mother effing miles. And there's a whole lot of miles on this meat suit.
Exactly. I got one knee, both hips, and a shoulder that don't like me very much anymore.
Yeah.
That's just the base weight. You become specialized, or if you become part of a long range surveillance team or any other number of various specialty things.
100, 110 pounds easy.
Easy.
Yep.
So if these women cannot do that, then they do not belong in the units that do that. And
correct.
That's it. I mean, the part of special operations that I worked in, I've said this a million times. We were basically the roadies. We were the sound crew. We're setting up the stage for you guys so you can go do your thing, putting up antennas and all of that stuff. But we still had to be fit and in shape. But we did have female operational specialists with us because you're basically wearing headphones and sitting in a skiff. Or
look, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. Look, when I'm
out, it's competence. Can you do it?
Yes. Like if I'm out there doing the thing and it goes south and I pick up the radio and like, hey, we're fucked. Oh my God. I want to have somebody like Roger, give me your grid. What's up?
Right.
All right. Fast movers inbound.
Yeah.
Expect them out of the Northwest.
Yeah. QRF.
They have 2 500-pound bombs.
I know you just put your ramen on, but put that down. We got guys.
Turn out the blowtorch. Get the fuck over.
You can almost hear the QRF go, God damn it, put their food down whenever anything happens. Because it's always when something like that happens.
Yep.
So internal Army figures from April showed, and this is 2021 again, showed 44% of women failing the ACFT compared to 7% of men. We had different standards when we were in for a reason.
Now this PT test
are different.
This new PT test that they have now, it's been out for a while. They're saying it just came out. It's been out for
this is 2021.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is 2021.
I thought you were like...
They're changing it back to the old push-up, sit-up, and the 2-mile run.
The old get-over PT test for women?
Yeah.
Yes.
ForceCom data includes the results of 106,000 ACFTs taken in the first half of fiscal 21. This amounts to 20% of women and 36% of men in the force who also have scores logged into the Army's database, meaning the data can be potentially incomplete. Look, when we ran the old PT tests, again, same mentality, just different units. If you failed the PT test, we were going to fail you. And when I
That's
became
right.
an NCO, just like every other NCO in the unit, you became a grader. And if you failed, it was on you.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not going to cut you slack. No.
In fact, one of my PT cards that when I was a grader was, I saw a picture of this a couple years ago. It's framed, hanging on the wall at the 403rd in New York State.
Really?
Yeah, because in the comments, I'm like,
do it.
I'm like the comments. I'm like, unfuck yourself. You have Tourette's of the elbow. Stop eating.
It's framed at the unit.
They framed it. I hope they.
Oh my God, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. And I've had sergeant majors like, you can't leave those comments in the box. And I'm like,
yes, I can.
Sergeant major, it says comments.
Yeah.
But you can't leave those. It doesn't say specific. It just says comments.
Yes. And occasionally you would get the officer who would tell you can't fail me. I'm an officer.
Oh yeah. No.
Which I had one of those when I was ops NCO at Civil Affairs. I had a lieutenant come from, I think, Kunia in Hawaii. Shows up. He's an MP. He's supposed to be control for a big exercise called a NEO, where you get all the non-combatants out of the area, and fails his PT test. It goes straight to the colonel, says, your sergeant failed me on my PT test. And she says, what? Calls me into the office, says, Sergeant, what happened? His lieutenant failed the push-ups in the run. And she looks at the lieutenant and she goes, my sergeant owns you for the remainder of your stay during this exercise. Sergeant, hurt this man. Yes, ma'am.
You're fucked.
He passed his PT test.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there was quite a few times when I was working in New York State, I had guys that were like right on the edge, and they've already failed it once, and if they failed it again, they're going to get really toasted up.
You're within a gnat's ass hair, and it's like that. I'm not going to fuck.
No, I would run it. I would run it with them.
Yeah,
I'd right behind them, slapping the back of the neck.
Yep.
Run!
I've done that a couple of times. I've done that a couple of times.
I'm not going to cut you no slack, but I'll suffer with you.
We had a female from the headquarters company. I actually ended up feeling sorry for her. I was there as a grader that day. A bunch of us were there as graders. And she genuinely was trying. And you could see it in her face. She was actually trying, but she was just, you could tell it was.
She was not feeling it.
And I'm like, handed my clipboard to my buddy. I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm out there in fucking boots and utes running alongside of her. You can do this.
Or
come on.
Cadence. Well,
come on. A little further.
Hey.
No, we weren't allowed to interfere.
No.
I used to encourage, but
I used to call cadence for him.
Oh, did you?
Because I ran it at about a, back in the day, 15, 16-minute mile. And most of the guys were close to my age, within 5 to 7.
All she needed was a 17. I could walk a 17. I just got out there alongside. You got this. Come on. Just keep up with me.
Yeah.
You do that for the people you see in their face. You could tell
that they're really trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could. She was starting to cry because she knew she was going down the shitter.
Yeah.
And I got her through the PT test and worked with her after that. I came over a couple of days and worked with her and brought her up to speed.
Yeah. The late Van Belzen, he's passed away now, but this guy was a PT stud. He showed he was an Eagle Scout, ran cross country, wrestled. I mean,
we had a whole bunch of those guys.
He ran the 2 miles in roughly 10 minutes and like 37 seconds.
Milton.
He was just fast. Mm-hmm. So one day he comes out, he gets like a 62 on the push-ups, a 64 on the sit-ups, and he gets like a 71 on the run. And I don't say nothing in the beginning, but when the PT's over, I'm like, all right, Van Belzen, take off your top. He goes, what? You're doing the PT test again.
You phoned that in. We're not having that. Yeah. Oh, God. We had a guy named Milton.
What do you mean, Sergeant? I go, so if we're getting overrun, you're only going to shoot 6 out of 10 people? Is that what we're doing now? He's like, oh, yeah.
All right, man. We had a guy named Milton that basically chain smoked Marlboro Reds. This was in the early 90s, and you could still smoke. Guy shows up for a PT test, literally with a Marlboro Red in his face, goes out and runs like a 10:53
Wow.
comes in and lights another Marlboro Red and just walks away. And we're all like,
You fucker. Look, listen, I have seen mutant PT studs in my career that I just cannot explain.
yeah, absolutely.
You're going to have those guys that are they just operate at a fucking different level.
I've told the story about the guy on the land nav course who was he did those 100-mile endurance runs.
Yeah.
He went out and we were on a course. You had 4 points and you had
Standard
3 hours.
4 to 5 points.
Yeah. 4 points, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there. He comes back in 45 minutes. The instructors are like, no. And we're all like, leave it alone. You're doing it again. I'm sending this guy out with you. Guy comes back with vomit all over the front of his uniform. What happened?
He ran
the whole thing. We're like, we told you, leave Rich alone, man.
Leave it alone.
Just leave him alone.
No, listen, I have seen some freaks of nature in my time in the service.
Yeah.
You just can't explain.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, they could just do incredible freaking. One of the SEALs we had with us on a task force was leg pressing 1,200 for reps. We're like, you could blow a hip out, dude's like, I'm fine. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Don't make him angry.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.